Today we're going to talk about the 8 places where women love to be touched. We're talking about how and where to touch a woman to make her feel excited. You know, touch is amazing, isn't it? It's one of the main reasons why we want to be in a relationship. It helps create a magical and thrilling connection when we fall in love. And since you're a good guy looking for a good girl, it's super important to know where and how to touch her the right way. You don't want to come off as weird, but you also don't want to just stand there staring. You need to be careful. If you want a happy, loving, and lasting relationship with a sweet and gentle girl, it's essential to know where and how to touch her. But don't worry. By the end of the video, you'll be a pro at this. We'll reveal the best places to touch women and how to do it in an exciting way. Let's talk about the 8 places where women love to be touched. I'll divide this into 2 parts in this video because there are really more than one stage to it. The first stage is when you're not in a relationship with her. The second stage is when you are in a relationship. There is a big difference in how you can and should touch a woman, depending on whether or not you are in a relationship. So, let's start with the first stage. All set? Let's go. The first place where a woman loves to be touched is the hands. Now, even if you're not in a relationship yet, that doesn't mean you should avoid physical contact. In fact, it's better to reserve more intimate gestures, like holding hands, for when you're more emotionally connected. However, you can explore subtle ways to touch her hands. For example, when passing something to her, let your hands lightly touch. This simple gesture can trigger those adorable butterflies in her stomach, making her think, "Hey, wow, he touched me, that's really nice." The feeling of physical connection, even if it's just a gentle touch, can create an emotional bridge between you, laying a foundation for future intimacy. The second place where a woman appreciates being touched by a man is the upper arm, an area often overlooked but full of potential for connection and intimacy. Imagine a situation where you're talking and you want to express empathy or even a bit of fun. A gentle touch on her upper arm, done delicately and respectfully, can convey a message of support and understanding, while adding an element of physical closeness without being intrusive. It's like sending a signal that you're there, present and interested, without pushing for more than the moment allows. This gentle gesture can create a subtle bridge between you, laying a foundation for a deeper emotional connection. So, don't underestimate the power of a touch on the upper arm. It can be an important step in the journey to building a deeper bond with the woman you want to win over. The next point to consider is touching her back, an area that can convey a range of subtle messages when touched with sensitivity and respect. Now, when it comes to exactly where to touch her back, it's crucial to find the right balance. If you go too high, you risk falling into the friend zone, where the connection may seem more platonic than romantic. On the other hand, going too low can create discomfort and even seem invasive. A safer approach is to direct your touch roughly at the shoulder blades, or a bit below them. This is a spot that is generally well received and can evoke a sense of protection and security. Imagine the comfort she will feel when you gently place your arm around her back, conveying a sense of care and support. It's a simple but powerful gesture that can make all the difference in how she feels around you. So, the next time you're near her, consider the power of a touch on the back. It might be the key to winning her heart in a genuine and affectionate way. The next place where a woman wants to be touched, and this isn't necessarily a place, it's more of advice, is simply being close to her. And this isn't exactly about a specific location, but rather a general approach. Again, if you're not in a relationship, avoid putting your arm around her. Save that for when you're in a more serious relationship. The goal here is to avoid any discomfort or awkwardness. However, sitting next to her and just being present, sharing the space, can send subtle signals of interest and care. Even if you're not directly touching, being physically close can convey a sense of connection and intimacy. She will certainly notice when you move a bit closer, and this can spark positive feelings and even make her wonder if you also have feelings for her. It's a delicate and charming way to show your interest without being overly invasive. So, next time you're together, don't hesitate to sit a bit closer and let the magic of the moment do the rest. The next place where a woman wants to be touched by a man, a powerful gesture that makes all the difference, is a hug. And more than a specific place, it's a form of expression. I hope this is already obvious, but it's worth emphasizing. Women love to be hugged. Even when they're in a relationship, there's something so comforting about a sincere hug. We all long for that human contact, and there are studies that prove how a simple hug can make us feel good. So, just do it. Don't hesitate to hug her, because it's something you can do even when you're still getting to know each other. This demonstration of affection not only creates physical closeness but also shows that you are genuinely interested in her and care about her. So, the next time you have the opportunity, wrap her in a warm hug and let the warmth of this gesture strengthen the bonds between you. My next advice on how to touch her is a gesture that is uncommon but full of kindness: offering your arm to her. Many don't do this nowadays, but they should, because it's a charming attitude. Especially if she's wearing high heels or if the path is a bit tricky, offering your arm is a courtesy that doesn't go unnoticed. It shows that you are protective, masculine, secure, and strong, qualities that many women admire. Additionally, by offering your arm, she can feel a bit of your touch, which adds an extra touch of closeness. Don't worry about overdoing it, just do it naturally and spontaneously. Always remember, being chivalrous never goes out of style and is an admirable quality. By being a gentleman, you stand out and leave a lasting positive impression. Another thing I want you to consider as we go through this list of places where a woman wants to be touched is knowing how to touch her and where to touch her. This is huge. It's a big step. However, you also need to know how to get to the point where you can touch her, right? You need to know how to get her attention, how to really increase that attraction, and how to make her want you to touch her. Otherwise, you'll just come off as strange, and you don't want that. So, how do you get to the point where she wants you to touch her, and how do you do this with the type of woman you really desire? You need to learn how to get her attention, how to talk to her to really increase that attraction, and then court her. All these things make her want you to touch her. So, no matter how overwhelming it might seem, there are many variables and plenty of room for error. This is especially true if you've failed in the past and felt embarrassed, rejected, and disappointed. That's why I created my academy for you. Now, you have a single place to learn how to find the sweet and gentle love of your life, make her fall deeply in love with you, so you can come home to her soft kisses every night. I take all the guesswork out for you, so you don't have to worry about what to do or not to do. Instead, you have a roadmap that leads you to the success in love that you deserve. Now, we've gone over how to touch a woman before being in a relationship. Let's talk now about how to touch her and where to touch her when you are in a relationship. Oh, I don't mean married yet. I mean you're dating. The first place to touch her when you're in a relationship is her hair. It's really cute when a guy touches her hair or just fixes her hair, maybe tucks it behind her ear. These little things make her feel really feminine and beautiful, like, "Yo, he likes my hair." And it's really very cute. Obviously, don't overdo it and watch how she reacts. Some women don't like their hair being touched, especially if they've made an effort to make it look nice for your date. So, watch how she reacts to this, but in general, it's a very, very cute way to touch her. The next place where a woman wants you to touch her is her face. Now, you can do this when you're kissing. You can touch her face, maybe put your hand on her cheek. This is simply adorable. Just these little touches on her face are totally dreamy and definitely turn her on. The next place where you can touch a woman is her waist. If you're just standing next to each other, put your hand on her waist. If you're hugging, maybe you can put your arms around her waist, or maybe when you're kissing, you can place your hands on her waist. This is very cute for her. It makes her feel close to you and, again, it just helps her feel feminine and see you as very masculine. Whenever you make her feel feminine, she will see you as more masculine. The next thing you can do is put your arm around her. Again, this should be obvious, but just in case it's not. If I mentioned when you place your hand on her back, you don't want to go too high. When you're putting your arm around her, this is the exception. You're not saying, hey, buddy, old pal, instead, you're just putting your arm around her. So, definitely, if it's the shoulders, diagonally across the back, when you put your arm around her, again, it's very protective, almost like a hug, and it's lovely. I have a quick question before we move on to other places where you can touch a woman. Actually, I've never made a video about this. It's new to me. Would you like more? If so, comment to let me know. I really appreciate your feedback. It helps me a lot. It helps me know what to do, and I love hearing from you and knowing that you're enjoying what I'm doing. So, if you would like more videos like this, comment to let me know, and leave any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos in the comments as well. Firstly, if she's a high-quality woman, an elegant woman, someone with a lot of love to give who's looking to give that love to a man, she doesn't want to share that with a man she's not married to. So, if you try some of these things before marrying her, that's a red flag. It makes her say, it's over with this guy, I'm so done. So, this helps you make sure you're attracting the right kinds of women and also protects her and makes her feel secure. Always ask yourself what kind of woman you're trying to attract. An elegant woman or a non-elegant woman? If you want an elegant woman, you have to use the strategies that allow you to attract that kind of woman. And saving things for marriage is the only strategy that helps you attract that loving, kind, tender, and loyal woman. A loyal woman is loyal to her man even before he's her husband, and that means saving things for marriage. If you're attracting toxic and fake women, usually that's one of the main reasons. You have to establish those physical boundaries from the start, and just in case you're wondering how to find a good loyal woman, how to find an appropriate, loving, kind, and stunning woman, these are things I also teach here on the channel. Again, I take the guesswork out for you, so you only have this clear map to the absolute love of your life.